Sorry I'm a little late. We received our purebred Gujarati Gir cows today. Yeah, so they're very beautiful. An amazing thing happened. As soon as they came, the other cows embraced them. It's like, it was very shocking. I mean, very surprising, you know. It's like they immediately went to each other and they bonded. Yeah. And they accept them like they're kids. You know, they're not butting them, you know, letting them eat and everything, just like they're members of the family. So it was very amazing. And they're very, very beautiful cows. Very, very beautiful. Yes, their names are Lakshmi Narayana. Yeah. So you have a calf and a bull. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're beginning. We're going to begin with mantra 13. Anyad evahur sambhavat. Anyadahur sambhavat. Iti susramadiranam. Inastad vichachakside. It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities, who clearly explained it. Let's repeat. It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities, who clearly explained it. A purport by Srila Prabhupada. The system of hearing from undisturbed authorities is approved in this mantra. Unless one hears from a bona fide acharya who is never disturbed by the changes of the material world, one cannot have the real key to transcendental knowledge. The bona fide spiritual master who has also heard the Shruti mantras, or Vedic knowledge, from his undisturbed acharya, never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literature. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.25, it is clearly said that those who worship the Pitris, or the forefathers, attain the planets of the forefathers, that the gross materialists who make plans to remain here stay in this world, and that the devotees of the Lord who worship none but Lord Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes, reaches him in the spiritual planet sky. Yanti Devan, Vritan Devan, Pitrin Yanti Pritivita, Bhutani Yantra Bhuteja, Yanti Madhya Jina Pima, 9:25. We've gone over that verse several times already. It's actually a very important verse because you can see Prabhupada quotes it often. And it shows the destination of people. It depends on what they're meditating on. Here also in Isopanisad it is verified that one achieves different results by different modes of worship. If we worship the Supreme Lord, we will certainly reach him in his eternal abode. And if we worship demigods like the sun god or moon god, we can reach their respective planets without a doubt. And if we wish to remain on this wretched planet with our planning commissions and our stopgap political adjustments, we can certainly do that also. Nowhere in authentic scriptures is it said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. So this in Sanskrit is called Yatamat Tatapat. Yatamat Tatapat. It's not Sanskrit, in Bengali. It's a Bengali saying. And it means whatever idea you have is valid. As many ideas, as many theories. Let me just see where that is. Yatamat. Yeah, it says, as many opinions, as many ways, or as many truths. This is an erroneous idea of one Bengali impersonalist. Could very well be, yeah, either him or Rabindranath Tagore, one or the other. Yatamat Tatapat. Nowhere in authentic scriptures is said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. Such foolish theories are offered by self-made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, the bona fide system of disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the supreme or whatever. So, sometimes people think, oh no, but Krishna says that in the Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna does say in the Bhagavad Gita that Yaitamam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mamavart manavartante manusya partha sarvasaha. That 4th chapter, verse 11, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. Now, 4th chapter, verse 11. Mamavart manavartante manusya partha sarvasaha. Is that equal to Yatamat Tatapat? Yatamat Tatapat means as many ideas or opinions, as many truths. And here Krishna says, everyone follows my path in all respects. What do you think? No.
Your life's goal is to misdirect other people. So just based on who's speaking that, it's a very difference. And then Yatamat Tatapat, they are just saying that there are multiple paths and all of them have the same goal, which is not true. And here Krishna is as long as we surrender unto him, he will take care of us. And no matter what we do, we are actually following his path in every respect. However, we need to surrender directly to him, and he will reward us based on the level of surrender that we go into. If we put in 5%. We cannot expect Krishna to put in like 105%. They will put in 5%.
Okay. Any other ideas? What does he mean by Everyone follows my path in all respects. It seems to mean, you could interpret it to say it's the same thing as yatamat tatapat. Whatever you do, you're following Krishna's path. And the other one says, whatever you think, it's valid. I'm just being the devil's advocate here.
But the object and the subject are different in these two ideas. In yatamat tatapat, it's based on our own misconception.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, it's based on what Krishna says. So.
Now, what does he mean exactly? Everyone follows my path in all respects. Okay, look into the purport. Well, does this mean that all paths lead to me? Is that what he's saying? No. Okay, so let's look at the purport carefully and see. The first part is, as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So in the purport it says, Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. In the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there, and they are equally exchanged by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in transcendental abode, associate with him in person and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept the eternal blissful personality of Godhead. Consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. Some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit their dormant desires for activities. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets. For those who are fruitive workers, the Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Yagyeshwara, and those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy. So that's the answer to the second part. When it says, everyone follows my path in all respects, it means that everyone depends on the mercy of the Lord for success in their endeavors. If their endeavor is karma, the Lord has to help them. If their endeavor is jnana, karma and elevation to higher material planets, the Lord helps them. If their purpose is jnana and they want to attain Brahma Jyoti, the Lord helps them. If their purpose is serve Krishna and they want to have Krishna's personal association, the Lord helps them. If they want to go to hell, the Lord helps them. In other words, in every situation, as he says here, in other words, everyone is dependent for success upon the Lord's mercy alone, and all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success on the same path. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10. Whether one is without desire for the condition of the devotees, or is desirous of all fruitive results, or is after liberation, one should, with all efforts, try to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. So basically, there's a difference between whatever we do for success in that endeavor, we must depend upon the mercy of the Lord. And the other, as you correctly said, the other one means that whatever you imagine is valid. Right. So there's a major difference between those two statements. One is, whatever you do for success in that endeavor, you depend on the mercy of the Lord. Whether it's to go to hell, whether it's go back to merge into Brahma Jyoti, or go to the higher material planets, or go back to Godhead, you have to depend on the mercy of the Lord. And the second one is, whatever you imagine is valid or true, it's all based on speculation. It has nothing to do, the two statements are not equal. Although, for an uneducated person, they might think they mean the same thing. All right. Okay. Yes, yes. That's the whole point. Whatever we do in our life, we can't do it without the help of the Lord. Whether it's commit a murder, or it's to surrender to a demigod, or it's to engage in devotional service. We cannot do it without the help of the Lord. Okay, as a practical example, let's say, in order to do something, the desire you have triggers an impulse, right? And that impulse makes your arm move, or your leg move, or say something, right? Now, if that impulse cannot be transmitted, then you can't do it. Like, for example, when a person gets paralyzed, they want to move their arm, they can't move it. They want to move their arm, but it won't move. So something is broken down, right? When someone gets cancer of the throat, and they cut out the larynx, they can't speak anymore. When someone, let's say, pierces the eye and destroys the inner working of the eye, even though they have an eye, it doesn't work anymore. So, to be able to do something, it depends on the mercy of the Lord. We can't, we just take it for granted that, we move our arm, we want to go here, we want to go there, we want to speak. But when you see a person get seriously sick, they can't move, they can't speak. So that ability has been taken away from them. And that, in order to do something, even as good or bad, we need the mercy of the Lord. Because He can withdraw our ability to act immediately. Yeah. Okay. Nowhere in authentic scriptures it is said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshiping anyone. Such foolish theories are offered by self-made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, the bona fide system of disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal, and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the supreme or whatever. So, when it says, Mamavart manavartante manusya partha sarvasaha, all paths, everyone follows my path in all respects. But here, the speculative instead of spiritual masters, fool masters, they say, one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshiping anyone. So you can see how easy it is for people to confuse the two statements. One says, but one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshiping anyone. And the other one says that everyone follows my path in all respects. So everyone follows my path in all respects means that one cannot do anything without the mercy of God. And this one here says that one can reach the same goal by doing anything or worshiping anyone. You see? But you can see how an uneducated would think those two statements mean the same thing. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal, and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the supreme or whatever. Any common man can very easily understand that a person can reach his destination only when he has purchased a ticket for that destination. A person who has purchased a ticket for Calcutta can reach Calcutta, but not Bombay. But the so-called spiritual masters say that any and all paths will take one to the supreme goal. Such mundane and compromising offers attract many foolish creatures who become puffed up with their manufactured methods of spiritual realization. The Vedic instructions, however, do not uphold them unless one has achieved knowledge from the bona fide spiritual master who is in the recognized line of disciplic succession. One cannot have the real thing as it is. Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam parampara praptam imam raja sayo vidu sakalena hamahatam yoganasta parantapam. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way, but in course of time the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So this Vedic knowledge comes through parampara, the disciplic succession, or the succession of pure devotees. When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the Bhakti Yoga principles defined in the Bhagavad Gita had become distorted. Therefore, the Lord had to reestablish the disciplic system, beginning with Arjuna, who was the most confidential friend and devotee of the Lord. The Lord clearly told Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita 4.3, that it is because Arjuna was his devotee and friend that he could understand the principles of the Bhagavad Gita. In other words, only the Lord's devotee and friend can understand the Gita. This also means that only one who follows the path of Arjuna can understand the Bhagavad Gita. Well, this is a big subject, and Prabhupada speaks about it often in the Bhagavad Gita. And he says, in Bhagavad Gita 11.8, Prabhupada says about Arjuna, yeah, but in the purport, Prabhupada says that the fact that the devotee is not concerned with seeing the Vishwarupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statements so that in the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretically or philosophically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually presented himself as such to Arjuna. Arjuna must confirm this because Arjuna is the beginning of the parampara system. Arjuna is the beginning of the parampara system. Those who are actually interested in understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and who follow in the footsteps of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually revealed himself as the Supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form because he knew that Arjuna did not particularly want to see it, as we have already explained. So, when it's said, what does it mean here that Arjuna is the beginning of the parampara system? Yeah.
So first, Krishna gives the knowledge to Devaswan, who gives it to his son, Manu, who gives it to his son, Ikshivaku, then his son, Kuchi, Bana, Viranya, and so on and so forth. It goes along, but within somewhere in the time after Lord Ram disappeared, that particular level of dharma was broken. And so he had to create a new parampara, and he decides to give it to Arjun because Arjun is his friend and devotee. So he's creating a new parampara, the Rajarishi parampara, I believe, and he wants to establish a new line of disciplic succession. And that's because the first line of disciplic succession was sort of just it just disappeared over time. And then and what we are following right now is through Vedavyas's disciplic succession, because Vedavyas was able to perceive everything that was spoken by Lord Krishna.
Okay, yeah.
So basically Arjuna is the first one to hear Bhagavad Gita right now in the Kurukshetra battle, and because he's now the universal form also, so he can, like, for generations to come, that he will, like, direct proof that Arjuna is the first disciple in this parampara, and Sanjay was related to the past and everything.
The Rajarishi parampara was broken, but the other parampara was there, like with the sadhus. To re-establish the Rajarishi parampara, Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So the reason for that is like if it is given to the Rajarishi, if the king has that information, then it will spread more quickly to all his subjects, compared to the sadhus. Sadhus are more involved, individual, or they follow less, there are less disciples to them.
Okay, so when a disciplic succession is broken, Krishna comes himself or Krishna sends someone, because Dharmam tu shakshat bhagavat pranitam, the Lord is responsible to maintain the principles of religion. So something has to happen to reestablish the correct understanding. Now, does it mean it's a new disciplic succession? No. It's not a new disciplic succession. But it's the same disciplic succession, but with new faces that come on the scene and express the same thing as the previous acharyas. Right? So Arjuna is the beginning of the parampara system. That means that he reestablishes the correct understanding in this modern context. It doesn't mean that he started a new parampara system. Now, for example, there are different speculators that start new so-called paramparas, like Ramakrishna, he started his own parampara. But that's not what Arjuna did. Okay. Then in another way, it's very important what Arjuna did. It says here on the 10th chapter, 15th verse, in the purport, it says, thus the truth about Krishna is established in this verse 10-15, right? Swayam evat manatmanam vita tvam purushottama bhuttabhava bhutesu jagat deva deva jagat bhute. Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe. So, thus the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna, and we should follow in the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is. Therefore, Arjuna reestablishes the correct parampara, the correct idea. Bhagavad Gita should be understood from Krishna as Arjuna understood. Mental speculation that leads one away from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a serious sin. So we see that Arjuna, when he says to Krishna, whatever you say, that's what I'm going to do. And I accept everything you say as the absolute truth. Previously he said that. Swayam 10:14. Swayam etadritam manye yanvan madasi keshava nahite bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. So in that purport, 10:14, Prabhupada says, when the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was selected to rejuvenate it. Say, that's the point. He's not making a new Parampara. He's rejuvenating it. The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then only can we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does Krishna say? He says that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? So, everything is Krishna is everything, and nothing can happen without the mercy of Krishna. Basically, that's Krishna consciousness. Krishna is everything. Of course, everything is not Krishna, but Krishna is everything, and nothing can happen without the mercy of Krishna. That's a summary of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Okay? So, these are all good points. 10:11:8 and 10:14. One second. Yeah, I said it was either him or Rabindranath Thakur.
I went to the website of the Vedanta Society and it's
See, he started his own parampara. That's the thing, he's a very clever guy. Why waste your time trying to learn some other parampara? Just start your own. Yeah. Okay. Yatamat tatapat. So we're back on mantra 13. Yeah.
That new cow, it went out of the fence and went somewhere. And we need to remake. He is also not there. Roma cow just now. Not able to find. We asked him to come there.
Okay. Jesus. The bull, huh? Yeah, he jumped the fence this afternoon.
He's asking few people to come there.
Sorry, we have a new cow.